I've been alone for what seems like forever. Try to hold it together, but I'm losing my grip. I need someone who can make me feel better. Wrap me up in a sweater, treat my pain with a kiss. Then suddenly you are here, inside my head, everywhere. Where did you come from? I'm wondering, baby, are you made up of for real? Say, can you feel what I feel? 'Cause I can tell if I'm just dreaming. I wish I had a girl like you, and I wish you could be real, but you're not really here right now. I don't wanna wake up without you, but tonight is gonna have to do. If I'm gonna get with a girl like you, I fade away. Every day you're not with me. Maybe now that you've showed me what love could be like, what can I say? I know it sounds like I'm crazy, but I need to believe in you to get through my life. Then suddenly you are here, inside my head, everywhere. Where did you come from? I'm wondering, baby, are you made up of for real? Say, can you feel what I feel? 'Cause I can tell if I'm just dreaming. I wish I had a girl like you, and I wish you could be real, but you're not really here right now. I don't wanna wake up without you, but tonight is gonna have to do. If I'm gonna get with a girl like you, girl like you, girl like you. If I'm gonna get with a girl like you, girl like you, girl like you. If I'm gonna get with a girl like you, girl like you, girl like you. I don't wanna wake up without you, but tonight is gonna have to do. If I'm gonna get with a girl like you, then suddenly you are here, inside my head, everywhere. Where did you come from? I'm wondering, baby, are you made up of for real? Say, can you feel what I feel? 'Cause I can tell if I'm just dreaming. I wish I had a girl like you, and I wish you could be real, but you're not really here right now. I don't wanna wake up without you, but tonight is gonna have to do. If I'm gonna get with a girl like you, girl like you, girl like you. If I'm gonna get with a girl like you, girl like you, girl like you. If I'm gonna get with a girl like you, girl like you, girl like you. I don't wanna wake up without you, but tonight is gonna have to do. If I'm gonna get with a girl like you.
I don't wanna stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep it low now. If you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe, striking the winner post now. Liberty's on my mind. We've taken off, we've left the ground. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night. The summer night, the summer
is summer, definitely. It is now officially summer. And welcome everybody to another episode of the Doll Symposium. Oh, let's just switch over, shall we? Shall we? Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Hello, good evening. Good evening, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to my channel for yet another episode of the Doll Symposium. This is now episode 80. It's a lot of episodes. Obviously it's been slowing down. Because I'm only streaming twice a month now, and only one Doll Symposium a month. Reaching that 100 episodes farther away. It's a little bit farther away, and now because of the slowdown. Regardless of that, we are now on episode, and hopefully you guys had a good week. And hopefully you guys had a good week. It's been a while since the last stream. Because May was a 5-week month. It's not a normal 4-week month. It's not a normal 4-week month. The news. We had our very first week. The news. And the very first week, sick, and then I got sick, and then there was Beyond the Doll, which I did live stream. So hopefully you guys got a chance to watch the live stream for that Geekdom Con. And then I had another week off. Because there was just an extra week in the month. And we are now here. Is there an audio echo? I'm only getting one input. So it should be okay. By the way, welcome to the stream, PNB Sakura. I'm hoping there's no echo. I'm not hearing any feedback on my end. It might be, not 100% sure. Just check your settings just to. But right now I'm not in my headphones. I'm not hearing any echo at the moment. But if anyone else is watching, put it in the comment section. Put it in the comment section or the live chat. Audio issues. If there's any audio issues, let me know. Kind of fix it. I'll try to fix it on the fly if I can. There was quite some time in between. May is definitely a long month. Music in the background. Let me put some music in the background. Low. Turn it like real low. Low. Let me see here. Turn it down a bit. So it doesn't go crazy loud. It would help if it was like a song that actually. Had like. There we go. I think that's low enough. I think that's low enough. I just don't want it to be like and have it super duper quiet and have it overpower my voice. Okay. I think that's low enough. Okay. I think that's low enough. Okay, so those of you watching live stream haven't noticed, I put up like a little poll. Just because I was thinking about it today before I went to the live stream, and I was like, change some of the outfits. Should I change some of the outfits to my girls because I haven't really changed their outfits? It's summertime. I do have quite a few. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like I've said it many times. On this channel. It's like for the most part, my dolls have like a forever outfit that they just all the time. Because they just look amazing in that one outfit. And really the only one that ever changes outfits like quite frequently is Cheryl. Cheryl went through quite the wardrobe change over that she had her fall. She had her city outfit on, where I like to call it the fall city outfit. And then she went to a concert outfit on Saturday, and then she went to her date night outfit on Sunday. She went through quite the transformation. I couldn't like speak properly, but I was just curious, because I know that a lot of people like myself have like a lot of outfits. And you guys are getting ready. Just wondering if you guys are getting ready and for the summertime and dressing them up. Okay, but other than that, any quick announcements before we get started with the news? The only thing I can really say is that I have Otakon coming up. The very first week was August. Was August? I believe it is. I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting that when I do announcements that I really should have it ready to go. Why did it look like occupational therapy? Why did it look like occupational therapy when I was looking at Otakon? Yeah, so August 8th through August 10th. Yeah, so August 8th through August 10th is the weekend of Otakon here. So yeah, it's gonna be in Washington D.C. So yeah, it's gonna be in Washington D.C. Past couple of years. It's been like that for the past couple of years. If you guys are interested in going, if you guys are interested in going, I believe I will be there. Strife will be there. I believe Tempest Strife will be there. Catch Up might be there one day. Kitten Catch Up might be there one day. Batman Jackson's gonna be there. We're gonna have a doll meet at Otakon. Supposedly we get 2 days of a doll meet. Supposedly we get 2 days of a doll meet. Officially on the schedule. And we get our own room to hang out in. So it's tentative. But that is the plan right now. But that is the plan right now that we're going for. And the doll meets will be Friday and Saturday. So if you miss one day, there'll be another day. Hopefully you guys can come out. Hopefully you guys can come out and hang out and just have fun and talk and whatnot. You know, it's just a chance. You know, it's just a chance to meet people and just hang out in your area and just hang out. And if you're interested, there's anime stuff. And if you're interested, there's anime stuff there too, because it is an anime. I will be doing some panels there. I will be doing some panels there. Nothing about dolls from my own personal panels, but I know Strife will be doing a panel, or Tempest Strife will be doing a panel, and I will be doing one with her as a co-host. Lending whatever knowledge that I can to the topic, as it will be resin/vinyl doll. She has panel. More of the details. She has more of the details. As of right now, be on the schedule. It's like a pending wait list for everybody. It's like a pending wait list for everybody in Otakon. They haven't sent out the final list. So we're all just kind of like waiting. We're probably going to hear something soon, because relatively soon, because Otakon is about roughly 2 months away now. So, anyways, getting back to the news. There really isn't much going on this week. Because we haven't had it's unfortunate because we haven't had the news in a whole month, since I'm only doing it once a month. Isn't much this week. So let's power through it. See what kind of new information we have. See what kind of new information we have. Maybe speculate on some. And yeah, that's about it really. So first up, we're always going to do Dolphie Dream news first. Switching over to the internet screen. Here we go. Should I move her over? There we go. Jupiter. Makoto's in the picture. So the Volks International website has the doll party event. This has long been done. It was May 10th. This has long been done. It was May 10th because it's the first week of every month. Because it's the first week of every month. There's a lot to catch up on. Except for this week. So May 10th we had the Doll Party 53. If you do not know, the after event is something that usually happens after the actual Dopa party. Most of the things are still here. On this item list. So if you missed anything from the after event, like the bunny girl outfits, mostly things are still here, like the bunny girl outfits, the stockings, the combs, all the extra parts, like it's all available. Except for maybe these stockings, the black stockings with the white inner lining. The hair clips are gone right here on the left. And that's normal. Usually any form of accessories are usually the first ones to go. Looking at these things, and then the surprising thing is if you go on the very first page, we actually still have RO available. You could just buy the RO from Puyo Pop, like straight out from Volks. It's there if you want it. It's there if you want it. And for those that are not familiar, RO has been released several times. The first two times that RO was released, it was on the Dolphie Dream mini Dolphie Dream body. This time it's different because they actually put her, or her or him, I think it's a her, or on her or him, I think it's a her body. On the Chimiko. So this is a Chimiko Dolphie Dream. So she's got the little body. Just like Anya has. She's got a smaller head. She's got a smaller head. Now it does say custom Chimiko head. Original for Arl. That may be the case. I really don't know. It's really hard to compare because I don't have an Arl. But the main difference between this is because when Anya was released, she was on the Chimiko body, but with an exaggerated large head to give it that chibi look, that very cute look with the big doughy eyes. So normally any Dolphie Dream prior to Anya and
so big.
eyes so large,
and
like
eyes
usually
so
you
large.
have
Like usually you have like
eye,
what, like a 22
or
millimeter eye.
I don't know what the exact measurement.
I don't know
is
what the
for
exact
Anya's
measurement
eyes,
is for Anya's eyes, but they are
like,
bigger than that.
I want to take an educated guess.
Like,
say,
I want to
26
take an educated guess, say like 26 millimeter,
or
maybe.
20. Dare I say 28?
Or
I don't really know.
Dare I say 28? I don't really know. They are a very uniquely large size eyes.
Volks doesn't have
any
optional eye parts.
Any
in that
optional
size
eye
as
parts
of yet,
in
that
that
I know
size.
of.
As of
I could
yet,
be wrong.
That I know of. I could be wrong.
I haven't been to the Volks
I haven't been to
stores,
Japan.
so
I haven't been to the Volks stores, so
I haven't seen any chatter or news about.
I haven't seen any chatter or
that
news
would
about
fit
extra eyes that
Anya.
would fit.
If there are, please
Anya.
let me know. Put it down in the
If
comment
there are,
section down
please let
below,
me know. Put it down in the
post
comment
on
section down
on
below.
the live chat.
Post it on the live chat.
Arl
But
now is still available.
Arl
and
now
she's on the
is still
Chimiko body
available,
with a
and she's on the
smaller
Chimiko body
Dolphie
with a
Dream head.
smaller
I would say
Dolphie
something
Dream
more
head.
akin
I
to
would
the
say something more
normal-sized,
akin to the normal
Dolphy
size
Dream heads.
Dolphy Dream heads.
What's like a good picture?
What's like a good picture?
There you go. So it kind
There
of
you
looks
go.
like it's the
So
regular
it kind of looks like it's the regular sized
it's really
head.
hard to gauge.
But again,
'cause I
it's
don't
really
have the
hard to
doll in front of
gauge
me.
because I don't have the doll in front of me.
I don't know anyone that
You
has
know, I don't
one,
have.
so
I don't know
it's
anyone that
really
has
hard to
one,
gauge.
so it's
But
really
it
hard
is
to gauge.
significantly
But it is
smaller in size
significantly
than Anya's
smaller
head.
in size.
Now, whether
than
or not we're
Anya's
going to get
head.
any future
Now, whether or not we're
dolls
going to get any
in
future
Chimiko
dolls
with a
in
larger head
Chimiko
style
with
like
a
Anya,
larger head
don't
style
know.
like Anya,
But it looks like a lot of
don't
people
know.
are kind of.
But it looks like a lot of people are kind of gravitating
to this style head.
Gravitating to this style head. Even Tempest Strife herself,
Anya with me to a
when I brought
convention,
Anya with me to a
she
convention,
replaced
she
Anya's head with a
replaced Anya's head with a
and it
regular
still looked
Dolphy Dream
good.
head.
It's not like
and
it
it still looked
awkward
good. It's not like it
having a
looked
normal-sized-
awkward
normal-sized
having a
Dolphy Dream head on a Chimiko,
normal sized Dolphy Dream
given
head
the
on a
fact that it
Chimiko,
originally has
given
a
the fact that
large
it
head like
originally
Anya's.
has a large
It really
head
didn't
like
look that
Anya's.
bad at all.
It really didn't look that bad
pretty
at all.
good.
It actually
so
looked
having
pretty
something like
good.
this is
So
definitely
having something like this is definitely an
and if you
interesting
want
move.
an Arl, because
And
Arl,
if you
for some
want
reason,
an Arl,
I
because
mean, I don't know much
for
about
some reason,
Puyo Pop,
I mean, I don't know
but
much about
Arl was
Puyo
pretty
Pop,
popular
but
in
Arl was
Japan,
pretty
and
popular in
both
Japan, and
releases of Arl have
both
sold out.
releases of Arl have
And
sold out.
I'm very surprised to see
And
that this
I'm very
version of
surprised to
Arl
see
with
that
Chimiko
this version
body
of
has not
Arl
sold
with
out.
Chimiko body has
Now,
not
you got to
sold
remember
out.
also that
Now you got to remember also that
there's no proof behind this.
there's
when I
no
say
proof
this, but
behind
I
this
kinda
when I
feel
say
like
this, but
maybe
I
the
kind of feel like
tariffs have put a
maybe
couple
the
people
tariffs
off
have
on
put a couple people
buying
off
things internationally,
on
and maybe
buying
that's
things
why Arl is still
internationally,
available.
and maybe that's
Maybe
why Arl is
everyone
still
in Japan
available.
got their
Maybe
hands on
everyone
Arl
in Japan got
that
their hands
wanted
on
to
the
get their
Arl
hands on the Arl.
that wanted to get their
And
hands on the Arl.
individuals that normally
And
would have
individuals that normally would have
bought
bought
this doll or any doll from Japan
this
are
doll
now
or any
kinda
doll from
hesitating or
Japan are now
second-guessing,
kind of
whether or not
hesitating
to
or
buy a
second
doll
guessing,
because of the
whether or
tariff
not to buy a
situation.
doll because of the tariff situation.
I believe Arl
Now,
still fits
I
under the
believe
de
Arl
minimis,
still fits under the de
if I'm not
minimis.
mistaken. But
If I'm
again,
not mistaken.
even if,
But again, even
you know,
if
there's a lot of horror stories out there.
there's a lot of horror
of
stories out
people
there
having
of
issues
people
getting their dolls,
having
like,
issues getting
I've seen
their
a couple,
dolls. Like
I've seen a couple
on the
Smart Doll community talking
posts
about
on the
they
Smart
ordered
Doll
a doll,
community talking about
and
they
then the
ordered a
doll's on
doll
hold in
and then the
customs,
doll's on hold in
because
customs.
I guess
because
I guess they're
I guess
scrutinizing.
I guess they're
description of packages
scrutinizing
more,
description
where
of packages
with
more.
Smart Dolls
where
they list their
with Smart Dolls
skin
they
tones as
list their
beverages like coffee,
skin
and
tones as
cinnamon
beverages
tea
like
and things
coffee
that.
and
And
cinnamon
they
and
bought a
tea and
coffee
things like
one,
that. And they had
and
they
it was
bought a
held in
coffee one,
customs,
and it was held in customs.
And I believe they sent a message to
I
the
believe
buyer,
they sent a message to the buyer
that
you
need to
that
declare
you need to
what is actually in
declare
this box,
what is actually in this
being
box,
shipped, and then they had to get
being
Chu
shipped,
involved,
and then they had to get Danny Chu
to
involved
confirm that there is no real food.
to confirm that
the
there
way
is
it
no
was
real
listed coffee.
food. The way
I
it
don't
was
know what
listed
the outcome
coffee.
was.
I don't know
only
what
saw
the
the
outcome
original
was.
post, so
I only saw the original
I really
post,
hope that
so
individual got their doll.
I really
in the
hope that
end.
individual got
But
their
it
doll
raised
in
some
the end.
concerns with that.
But it
and,
raised some
he's
concerns
been
with
sending
that,
tea and coffee.
he's been
and
sending
cocoa
tea
stuff,
and coffee
like,
and
forever.
cocoa stuff,
and
like
it never
forever.
really was scrutinized
And
like
it
this.
never
So I
really
think the
was
whole
scrutinized
tariff
like this. So
situation
I
has
think the whole
gotten just
tariff situation
everybody
has
on
gotten
edge,
just
and I think
everybody
they're
on edge.
inspecting packages
And I think they're
much more
inspecting
closely now.
packages much more closely
And,
now.
And if you do go over the de
and if you do
I've
go
heard
over the
stories
de
of people
minimis,
having their packages
I've heard stories of people having their
held
packages
and,
held
notices sent to their
and,
homes that
notices sent to their homes
this
that
is declared
over
over de minimis.
this
you
is
have to
declared
pay X, Y,
over
and
de
Z,
minimis.
pay
You have
within
to
certain
pay
amount
X,
of
Y, and
time,
Z, pay
or
within a certain amount of time, or else your package will be sent back to the original seller.
I don't know, and I have zero proof to any of this. This is just stuff I read and saw.
This is just stuff I read and saw.
Maybe,
but
maybe
stuff like that, stuff like that, you hear the stories and it's, kind of putting people off. I don't think it's going to put off anyone. I don't think it's going to put off anyone else around the world, because really this is like just like a big thing happening at the moment as far as the United States at the moment, as far as I know. So I don't know. I have no proof. I don't know. I have no proof of the sales figures from Volks and who buys from where. That's the cool thing that Danny Chu does is that he does post his sales
on a map.
Kind of like just like
on a map,
kind of like just like if you bought from here, here's a little dot. Like it's not too much information. It's just dots.
We don't actually know where.
But we don't actually know where most of Volks' sales go. Like if it's all in Japan and then second, like I don't know what the tiers is first, second. Like I don't know what the tiers is first, second, or third for most sales. But I would assume that. I would assume they make a decent amount from the United States.
I don't want to be so brazen.
I don't want to be so brazen to say that we buy the most, we're the number one buyers.
Possible.
I don't think that's possible.
But I think that we have a healthy amount.
But I think that we have a healthy amount that we spend as Americans.
We'd probably be in the top 10 at least.
We'd probably be in the top 10 at least,
I guess,
if not the top 5. I guess
this whole tariff thing.
Some people
off from purchasing in the future.
Some people off from purchasing.
Regardless of that fact,
but regardless of that fact,
Arl is still around.
Arl is still around.
No click war, just purchase her now.
No click war, just purchase her now. You can just add her to cart right now if you really wanted to.
Purchase her. So
and just purchase her. So I was really surprised to see that Arl
long
was
story
still
short,
there.
I know that was like a
long story short. I know that was like a
really
long session of just
but other than
that,
like a lot of
the other items are still available.
The hairpins are out.
Again, the hairpins are out.
Usually go first.
All the accessories usually go first.
The
pom pom.
Not really an accessory per se, but
not really an accessory per se, but the pom pom panniers.
I'm just surprised that the black one sold out really fast.
I'm just surprised that the black one sold out really fast because
kind of stains.
Normally black people kind of stains.
So people try to avoid
but yeah, see hairpins.
Hairpins.
Like those like
hats,
sell out like those like sell out so fast. And then you have the other outfits here, like jeans, the relaxing innerwear sets, the schoolgirl outfits.
Like a lot of stuff is still available.
Like a lot of stuff is still available, which I was very surprised about.
And again, I don't know how much of it.
I don't know how much of it is
just the speculation zone people.
Just the speculation zone people. Like I don't know how much of it is like tariffs and everything.
Or maybe it just simply
not many people are interested in what's offered. Not many people are interested in what's offered at this doll party 53.
Which is a valid point. Even I myself usually buy something from every Dopa
because there's something cool
that I like. And I have to say, like this time around,
there wasn't much here that really like tickled my fancy, so to speak.
There's some things that I do like.
There's some things that I do like, but I'm not really.
Sets are kind of
some of these innerwear sets are kind of cool.
Really need for my dolls.
It's not something I really need for my dolls, and I don't usually have them wearing like loungewear. When they're on display. So it's not really my girl outfits. The bunny girl outfits.
My cup of tea either.
Not really my cup of tea either. It's very
popular trope, I guess. For anime is having bunny girls, but
I was never really into the whole bunny girl thing. I know some of you probably like hearing that you're like, oh, come on, you lying.
Really,
it's like no, I really don't. It's not really my thing.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of the other items are still here.
A lot of the other items are still here,
like these shoes.
I don't like them.
I really like, but I don't like them enough to buy them right now.
A lot of things are still there.
But yeah, a lot of things are still there.
Sakura says most of my friends spent their doll money on Sakura Miku.
That's a fair statement. That's true. That's a fair statement because a lot of people
have been waiting for
to get their hands on
Sakura Miku.
She
didn't have a re-release.
She just didn't have a re-release until now.
That's
so.
100%. I can believe that PNB
100%. I can believe that PNB Sakura. That makes total sense that people spent their money on that.
Accessories,
and probably not on accessories because again, you buy Sakura Miku.
That's already putting you
very close to the threshold for the de minimis tariffs and not getting hit with tariffs taxes.
People are probably buying.
People are probably buying
I don't
doll, and then it's like I don't want to incur any of these extra fees.
Maybe they normally would have added
accessories to it, but this time around,
nope.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. It's all speculation. I have no hard proof for that, but it just kind of seems like a logical
conclusion, so to speak.
So to speak.
And if it's not the case, it's not the case. But
if it's not the case, it's not the case. But I'm just speculation.
I'm just put a spin on things and see if maybe that.
Maybe not. Maybe that's a reason.
Again, so I told you there's not really much
again,
this
so
year.
I told you
so
there's not really much this year. So the only thing else I want to go over,
because
because
there
there
is
is literally nothing else to go over for Volks News
is
this month,
just the fact that
hometown Dopa Osaka
is calling for
10
dealers.
is
And
calling
this
for
is not
dealers.
something that
And this is not something that
cover on my channel because
normally
I'm
I
not
would
a
cover on
dealer.
my channel because
know,
I'm not
and
a dealer.
Friends
and
that I know that are vendors.
friends that I
they're
know
not
that are
going
vendors,
to Japan to
they're
vend
not
at
going
Dopa.
to Japan to vend at Dopa.
But the reason why I bring it up, and the reason why
I bring it
is
up,
just
and
for the
reason why I
fact that
mention it is
Dopa's
just for the
coming
fact
up
that
August 3rd.
Dopa's coming up
That's
August 3rd.
roughly 2 months
That's
from now.
roughly 2 months
they're-
from now.
From the last time we had this episode,
from
which
the
was
last
May
time we had
2nd,
this
a
episode,
whole
which was
month
May
ago,
2nd,
right?
a whole month
The
ago.
last time we had an
right?
episode of
The last time we had an
was a month ago.
episode of the Doll
And
Symposium
even
was a
then,
month ago.
and if
And
you go back
even
to last week's
then,
episode,
and if you
there
go back to
really
last week's
wasn't
episode,
much
there really
news.
wasn't much
So,
news.
Again, this
So,
happens every
Again, this
single
happens
year before
every single year
Dopa. There is
before
a
every
lull
single
period
Dopa.
where
There is a
nothing
lull
happens,
period,
and then
where
we get a
nothing
huge
happens,
announcement of,
and then we get a
what's
huge
being
announcement
released
of
at the Dopa.
what's being released at the
This
Dopa.
is normally
This
the
is
time frame
normally
when we get an
the time
announcement
frame
for the
when we get an
pre-order
announcement
project.
for the pre-order
just like how we
project.
had Stola
just like how we
before,
had
we
Stola
had,
before,
the
we
twins
had,
from Final Fantasy,
the twins
we
from
had
Final
2B,
Fantasy,
et cetera, et cetera, et
we had
cetera.
2B,
All
et
these
cetera,
other
et cetera, et
dolls that we're
cetera.
releasing,
All these other dolls
for a
that we're
pre-order
releasing
project.
For a pre-order project.
We are probably going to get an
We are
announcement
probably
very
going to
soon.
get an announcement very soon.
I don't think it'll be in June.
I don't think it'll be in
Great.
June.
I think
it'll be in June. Great. I think
the announcement for the next pre-order project
the
is
announcement
probably
for the
gonna
next
come in
pre-order
July.
project is probably going to come
At
in
the-
July.
More than likely mid-July to the end
more
of
than
July,
likely mid-July
right
to the
before
end of
Dopa
July,
starts, so that
right
people
before
can,
Dopa starts, so that
figure
people
out
can,
what it is that they want to buy when
figure
they
out
go
what it
and
is that they
attend
want to buy
Dopa.
when they
So
go and attend.
just keep an
Dopa.
eye out
So
for that, and obviously
just keep
when
an
we
eye
hit
out for that, and
the
obviously when we
episode of
hit
the Doll
into
Symposium
the
in July,
episode of the Doll Symposium in July,
hopefully we'll have some idea.
Hopefully we'll
But
have
again,
some
I
idea.
stream
But
the
again,
news at the
I
first
stream
week
the news at
of
the
the month.
first
So
week
if it's going to
of
be
the month.
mid to
So
the end,
if it's going to be
we
mid
won't-
to the end,
you guys won't know it
we
from
won't.
me. Like,
You
I'm not
guys
gonna
won't
have
know
an
it from
episode.
me. Like I'm not gonna have an episode.
But we could definitely talk about it.
But
the
we
first
could
week of
definitely talk
August.
about it the first week of August.
Well, probably. Yeah,
Um,
no, we can because first week of August. there should be an episode,
first week of August there
Otacon's
should be
not
an
until the
episode
second
because
week.
Otakon is not
So
until the
yeah,
second week.
I'm
I'm
fairly certain.
I'm
Like, if I
I'm
had to- if I
fairly
was a betting
certain.
man,
Like if I had to,
would
if I was a
say
betting
right
man,
now,
I
we
would
have
say
zero
right
news from
now
Volks
we
in
have
all of
zero
May.
news from Volks in
And
all of May.
So far, the beginning of
And
June is because
so far the beginning of June is
they're
because
getting ready. One,
they're
for Dopa.
getting ready.
Two, they're
One,
just
for
getting
Dopa.
ready for all the
Two,
marketing.
they're just getting
all the
ready
things,
for
all
all the
final
marketing,
checks
all
for
the things,
their
all the final
announcement of
checks for
whatever this
their
new
announcement
doll
of whatever
that is
this
going to be
new
released
doll
for Dopa
that is going to be
as a
released for
click war
Dopa
and a lottery at
as
the
a
event,
click war and a lottery at
quite
the event,
possibly
and
announce
quite
what the next
possibly
pre-order
announce
project
what the
is.
next pre-order
And
project
I told you guys,
is.
I'm
And I told you guys I'm a
for the fact
I'm
that
a big advocate for the
they
fact
better
that
announce the next pre-order
they
project.
better
for
announce the
Lloyd
next
Forger,
pre-order project
so we
for
get the
Lloyd
whole
Forger,
family
so
for
we
Spy
get the
Family.
whole family.
I
for
know
Spy
that's a
Family.
long shot, people.
I know that's a long
recognize
shot,
the
people.
fact
I
that them doing
recognize
a
the
male
fact that
pre-order
them
project
doing
doll
a male
is
pre-order
a
project
super
doll
long shot
is
for
a
Lloyd
super
Forger,
long shot for
but
Lloyd Forger.
I will always
But
keep hope
I will always keep
that
hope
they will finally make
that
Lloyd so that
they
we can
will
have the
finally
whole
make
family.
Lloyd so that
If
we
there
can
were
have a whole
ever to be
family.
a set,
If
they
there were
want-
ever
they
to
want
be a set
complete
they want to
all the
complete
characters for that set,
all the
it has
characters
to
for
be
that
Spy
set,
Family.
it has to be
one
Spy
of them.
Family.
They
Spy
didn't
Family
do a
has
whole
to be
set
one
for
of
Sword
them.
Art Online.
They didn't do a whole set for
I'm
Sword
not-
Art
I'm not
Online.
mad about that.
I'm not
They didn't
I'm
do
not
a
mad
whole
about
set
that.
for
They didn't do a
everything
whole
in
set
Konosuba
for
so
everything
far.
in Konosuba so
I'm not
far.
mad about that yet.
I'm
But
not mad about
They
that
did,
yet.
the only
But
shows I can think
They
of
did-
where they've
the
done
only
full
shows I can
sets
think of
is
where
Sailor
they've
Moon.
done full sets
They
is
did
Sailor
all
Moon
the Sailor Senshi
because they did
right?
all
You
the
had
Sailor
Moon,
Senshi. Right,
Mercury,
you had
Mars,
Moon,
Jupiter,
Mercury,
Venus.
Mars,
So
Jupiter,
those are the
Venus.
originals.
So those are the
Um,
originals.
They could open it
Um,
up to Rini.
They
now that we
could
have
open it
Chimiko.
up to Rini now that we have
but,
Chimiko.
You know,
but
if you're gonna complete,
you know,
a
if
set,
if you're gonna complete a
and
set
you still have the IP
and you still
rights
have
to
the
do
IP
so
rights
from
to
the parent
do do so. From
I'm
the parent
holding
company.
out. I really am
I'm
holding out.
I really am holding out for Lloyd Forger.
I can feel it in my bones, people.
I feel it in my bones, people. He's coming. Watch me be completely wrong. Watch me be completely wrong. But I think it would just be a really great thing for them to do for anybody that wants boy dolls, for anybody that wants boy dolls
of Spy Family,
and for the love of Spy Family, which has been Spy Family has been losing steam lately. They're not as
popular as it used
cool
to be,
and as
but
popular as it used to be, but within the the doll community to see released and the excitement for released and the excitement for Anya, and then to get the excitement for Anya being released. And by the way, at DaiGeekdom, Anya was on display, and she was reading the tally numbers right. I'm reading the tally numbers right from the poll that we did. The questionnaires. I believe Anya was in second place for the most famous or most sought after doll that they saw on display. To add Lloyd would just be a smooth
into a new boy
transition
doll,
into a new boy
doll,
fans what they want,
and
to give the fans what they want to complete their family.
But again, you never know.
You never know. It will probably never happen. I'm probably just like talking out my butt.
I think it would be great if we can get Lloyd.
I think it would be great if we can get Lloyd.
PNB Sakura, you're correct.
PNB Sakura, you're correct.
Darkness 2.
I'm hoping for Darkness 2.
Darkness kind of round out the characters.
Kind of round out the characters because you already have Aqua, you have Megumin. So to have Dark,
saying that with a weird accent for some reason.
I was like saying that with a weird accent for some reason. But to get Darkness would be great to round out the characters, minus of course the main protagonist,
Subaru. What was his name? I forgot his name already.
What was his name? I forgot his name already. Was it Subaru?
I don't even remember.
Anyways,
I don't even remember.
Anyways, the three girls at least. The three girls at least. The three main girls of the show.
To release Darkness, I feel like
to release Darkness, I feel like that's something that's very possible. That we can get an announcement for Darkness. What would be really great as a double whammy is to announce Lloyd Forger as a pre-order project and Darkness as a lottery for limited lottery for Dopa.
I know
Osaka
PNB,
10.
you're not going to.
I know PNB, you're not going to really be excited about that because I know you would probably prefer Darkness to be the pre-order and Lloyd Forger to be the limited lottery.
Whichever way you
swing the pendulum,
really cool surprise.
Really cool surprise, which I know they're not going to do. But it would be a really cool surprise if those were the two announcements for Osaka 10.
A pre-order project for one of them.
A pre-order project for one of them.
Limited release
and a lottery limited release for the other, and having Lloyd Forger
as the two dolls,
that would be as the two dolls. That would be
amazing.
That would be amazing.
That would be absolutely amazing.
That would be absolutely amazing if that were to happen.
Hartschul says there is an echo.
Hartschul says there is an echo.
I wonder why that is. Hold on.
I wonder why that is. Hold on. Okay. I reset the microphone. How about now? I reset the microphone. How about now? Is it echoing now? Is it echoing now? I reset the mic, so I'm just kind of. I reset the mic, so I'm just kind of hoping. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. Testing, testing. How about now? Testing, testing. How about now? Is there an echo now? I've turned down the volume a slight bit. I've turned down the volume a slight bit. Seeing if that helps, because I'm using my headphones. So I'm using my headphones. So there really shouldn't be any. From my echo,
I don't know if it's
from
like
my end.
I don't know if it's like
a streaming glitch.
It's better.
Okay, great. It's better. Okay, great.
Maybe that's what it is.
Okay.
Maybe it was just like too.
Maybe
loud
that's
or
what
too
it is.
close
Maybe
to
it
my
was
mouth,
just like
too
either
loud
way,
or too close to my mouth. But
either way,
welcome to the stream, Hartschul.
Welcome to the stream, Hartschul.
Long story short, welcome to the stream.
Long story short, welcome to the stream.
It's still there. Oh gosh, I apologize.
It's still there.
Guys.
Oh gosh, I apologize, guys.
I've
never had that before. I'm not really sure why it's doing that. I'm wondering if I pause.
I'm wondering if
audio.
How about now?
Desktop audio. How about now? Is it like that now? Is it like that now? If I pause the music, I don't know if there's some interference. I don't know if there's some interference between me playing music in the background and me just talking at the same time. Let me know. There's probably. I know there's a lag between. There's probably. I know there's a lag between me saying something and you guys typing. So. I muted the music just for now. Just to see if maybe there was some kind of weird feedback from that. Also, I know that my camera. Oh, you know what it might be? Hold on. I might have figured this out. I think I know what it is. Okay. I think I understand what it is. I'm trying to figure out if I can change it. Audio. Desktop audio. Microphone. Disable. Apply. Okay, how about now? I think what the feedback is coming from is that my... Oh no, don't do that. Here we go. Testing. Yeah, I think I know what it is. Boom. I'm gonna get rid of this. How about now? It should be gone now. What do you guys think? Echo's gone? I think I got rid of it because the microphone that I'm talking into now and the microphone on the camera itself, because it has a built-in microphone, was both on. That's probably what the echo was. So I got rid of that. It should be fine now. It's gone? Yeah, there you go. Sorry guys. I you know, there was an update to OBS and I updated it and it must have turned on both microphones when usually I have one off, one on. So I'm so happy I fixed it. Sorry for the first like half an hour you guys were like hearing this weird echo thing. I hope it wasn't super annoying. But yeah, okay, so that's gone. So I think it would be a very nice surprise if we can get Darkness and we can get Lloyd in Osaka 10. Will it ever happen? No. More than likely, I guarantee you, more than likely, you know what we're going to get? We're going to get something that we least expect. How about that? I can almost see it. I can almost see them releasing a new doll or dolls. It's possible there could be two at Osaka 10 that is way out of left field that nobody ever thought. Like, what would be crazy? You know what would be crazy? If they would go on an announcement and they're like, hey guys, this is our new pre-order project for Osaka 10 and it will be I don't know, what's his face? Now I can't even remember his name. The guy from the guy from damn, I can't even think of the name of Solo Leveling. What was his name? Like watch they throw some weird curveball where like they give us like the main character of Solo Leveling or the girl. It could be Hien Wo or whatever her name is from Solo Leveling. Watch it be something crazy like that, like way out of left field, like nobody thought it was coming and it's way on the hush hush, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey guys, we heard you like Solo Leveling, how about the main protagonist as a doll? They could also do something out of left field where, you know, for the past what I want to say couple of years, we've been seeing some older dolls reemerge, right? Like we've been seeing like the last release, we had the two characters from Ranma 1/2, right? That got released. You know, we had the Slayers release that was like a couple releases ago. You know, you never know. We could get something like really old school that's coming up on its anniversary. That, you know, we're just not thinking about or realizing that there's an anniversary for. You know, something like that could happen. Who knows? But again, it's the speculation zone. Like, I have no hard proof to any of this, you know, ever happening. But it's fun. It's fun to guess these kind of things and see, maybe, you know, could be. I don't know. But yeah, I just thought it would be fun to speculate on what it possibly is. The girls from Tenchi Muyo, that would be interesting. Did Tenchi Muyo recently have an anniversary or something? I don't think there's any new recent anime, you know, coming out. It could also be from a video game. Like, what's a popular video game? Like, we already did Final Fantasy XIV, which I want more from Final Fantasy XIV, but realistically, you know, they've already done 3 releases, so they might chill with that for a little bit. But, you know, it could be a video game release. Like, what's a popular video game everyone's talking about? Maybe Expedition 33? Maybe also because they have a even if it's not Final Fantasy 14, they still have a deal with Square Enix. I wonder if they have, some licensing agreement to do more dolls. They're re-releasing in September Final Fantasy Tactics, which is one of my favorite Final Fantasies of all time. It's my number one Final Fantasy, even though it's not the regular numbered series of 7, 10, whatever, 15. It's its own thing, and I love Tactics. And since Tactics is getting a PS5 re-release in September, guess what? How about a character from Final Fantasy Tactics? Alma? Maybe. Agrius? Maybe. Meliadu? Maybe. It could even be one of the boys, but we know how it is with boys. We really don't get many of the boys. Like Delita or Ramza, maybe? I don't know. Gefkarian? Who knows? But again, it could be anything. It literally could be anything. And then there really isn't much going into Volks USA. That's everything for the international website. There's not much news at all this time around. For a whole month, we got nothing, people. And for Volks USA, it's the same thing. We got nothing from Volks USA. I mean, they got the same thing, the limited after event for Arl from Puyo Pop. The limited outfit collection is on Volks USA, which a lot of it is still there. There isn't really much here. And even on their official Twitter and their doll blogs, there really isn't, there's no information. Volks is radio silent right now. Even my normal places I look for some hidden news that not many people know about to look for, it nothing. I saw nothing. So, I've said this before last year, and I'll say it again. When things like this happen and there's radio silence, that means they're getting ready to announce something big. They're also getting ready for prepping for Osaka 10. So we just got to hang in there as fans and to see what's there. But in the meantime, I know that most of you probably know this, but if you didn't, in the meantime, while we're waiting for news to come out from Volks, it's not like they're not releasing anything at all. They still have their Dolphie Dream choice that you can do via proxy, or you can, if you're just so happen to be traveling to Japan, you could do that as well. And the D-Cord line is all year round, just different dolls available on the D-Cord line based upon the season. So you have normal skin or flesh skin and semi-white in fall and winter. Then you have tan and flesh skin in spring and summer. So right now, get your tan skin, girls, if you really want a tan. I know I do. But, those are still available if you have an itch to scratch for Volks. But I would definitely say wait a month or so to see what the release is, because you don't want to spend your money if they make a huge announcement for some doll that you're dying to get. So yeah, just hang in there, guys. Hang in there. Hearts says, I wish for Infinity Nikki doll. She is so cute. I mean, I don't play the Nikki game, but I definitely see on my Instagram feeds and my X feeds and my Facebook feeds the characters all the time. And I have to say the art and the characters are absolutely gorgeous. Some of them are a little over the top mature, but for the most part, they're pretty beautiful. So if they do make a Nikki doll, that would be really cool, and I think a lot of people would jump on that bandwagon, because Nikki, as far as I understand it, is pretty huge in the mobile gaming community. Again, I've given up on playing mobile games for a while. I spent too much money on them. And the game I was recently playing closed down. They shut down the servers. They're not doing it anymore, and I've just lost all appetite for playing mobile games right now. I'll probably get back into it at some point in the future, but just for right now, I'm done. I'm not playing anything. I'm not playing Nikki. Moving on. We're going on to Azone news, and guess what Azone announced? P&B Sakura, look at this. Azone has announced they're releasing, which I was very surprised, Konosuba Megumin doll. It is a 1/3 scale Megumin doll from a line that I thought was dead. So she's being released in a line from Azone called Another Realistic Character. Now this is the 25th doll, as it does say, number 025. The 25th doll in the Another Realistic Character line, which quite frankly,
I don't even know. I can't even think of 5 dolls that was in that line. Like, that line was very short-lived. They released a couple characters, and then I never saw anything again. So I was super surprised to see Megumin released from Azone as a 1/3 scaled, another realistic character. Like, if anything, I thought Megumin would come as a pure Nemo. You know what I mean? Like, pure Nemo's hot. It is the hot ticket, especially now that they're doing Q7 dolls in pure Nemo. Like, I just figured, you know, if anything, they're going to do something anime collaborated on that line. But to have a Konosuba girl on another realistic character for 1/3 scale, interesting. Her school uniform may be worth it for the outfit. You know, honestly, the outfit is nice, but it won't fit Dolphie Dream. Because 1/3 scale Azone dolls are actually, you know, because 1/3 is all subjective. You know, it's 1/3 of what? Like, so Azone dolls, even though it does say 1/3 scale, they're actually much smaller than Volks dolls. Like, she's probably a mini Dolphie Dream size. Height-wise now. Height-wise, she's like around a mini Dolphie Dream or Dolphie Dream Pretty. Is kind of like between those two sizes, probably somewhere around there. But that's just height. Like, I don't know what word to use for the width of the doll, like the girth or the circumference of the doll. But the doll themselves for Azone are much skinnier than Volks dolls. Like, Volks has more meat to them, if that makes any sense. Like, they're not, like, I'm not saying that they're like plus size dolls or oversized dolls. They're just, they have more to them. Like, they're bigger, like, width-wise or circumference-wise. I don't know how to explain it properly. So if you bought this doll, the outfit won't fit on your Dolphie Dreams as well. That's essentially what I'm trying to get at. Long story short, it won't fit on your Dolphie Dream. You could try. And if you even got it to fit, it would be really tight. So, I mean, you know, they're smaller, but it's quite possible if David Caines is on here, because he is like the only expert that I know when it comes to Azone, and I haven't seen him in quite some time. He might be mad at me, who knows? Because we do bump heads from time to time. But honestly, David Caines, I love you. You've contributed so much to the show. Please come back. But he was very knowledgeable in Azone, more so than me. And I don't think this outfit would fit Megumin from Volks, which is a Dolphie Dream sister. If Megumin was on a mini Dolphie Dream body, maybe. But yeah, they are much smaller dolls in height and girth, I guess you could say. I don't know. But she does look lovely. She's very cute. You know, she has, where is it? This is her a little bit closer up. You could see the glass eyes. Like, she actually has like real eyes. The detail on the hat is very nice. You get gloves. It's very nicely done gloves, but I think these are painted. I don't think that, like, because here you could see this is actual fabric, right? For the wristlet. But here, for the hand, that looks painted on. Like, that looks like a painted on glove for the hand. And then you get, like, multiple poses with her. There's, like, all these different poses. It doesn't look like she comes with her staff. Like, none of the production photos have a staff. It says clothing, school uniform, robe, hat, boots, costume. Yeah, there's no staff for her. Yeah, it doesn't mention it here. Her pre-order time, though, here's the pre-order time. Friday, June 13th to Friday, August 1st. And then she'll be released in November, like around November 28th. So look more towards December for a release date. But she is, you know, she's cute. She looks really good. Like, there's nothing really wrong with her. She's just a different company, a different size doll. Even though it's 1/3 scale, they're still a different size when you comparatively put them against like a Smart Doll or Dolphie Dream. Now, there is a video, which I will share with you guys, of her right here. Let's see. So if I play it, I didn't put the sound on because I don't want to like get in trouble for copyright reasons. But we'll watch the video as it plays. But this is Azone's video release of her. It's basically just still photos. You know, some of which that you're not going to see on the production page. So just kind of have that playing in the background. But she does look good. She's gorgeous. And if you've never bought an Azone doll before and you're on the fence, but you like this character a lot, this character might actually be the one to get you into Azone. You never know. You could always give it a shot. Azone's a great company, and their dolls are just a little different. You know, they're very similar to Volks, but they are still different in scale wise. But I think she looks good. She definitely looks good. Heart says, I have one. She is about the size of DDdy Pretty. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's what I was thinking about. Like somewhere in between Pretty and Mini Dolphie Dream. But they are like Hearts. You know, maybe you can, you know, chime in on this. But the dolls are definitely thinner, I would say, than a Dolphie Dream. I don't know how else to explain it, but thinner. They're just more petite. Maybe that's the better word. They're more petite than a Volks doll. You have Kei Karuizawa. Okay, I apologize. I'm not familiar with the character. But you know, if you have one and you already know, you could lend some advice to chat, like, you know, maybe like size comparison wise. But other than that, there really isn't much from Azone either. They did issue out this like little notice warning. If you're an individual that have pre-ordered any of these dolls, they all have been delayed. So, for example, they're all Pure Nemos too, by the way. If you did a Pure Nemo Bochi the Rock, Ryo Yamada, if you did a Pure Nemo Ram or Rem, or if you did a Pure Nemo Magical Angel Creamy Mommy, which I know that sounds really dirty. I have no idea what this show is, but if you're going to call it Creamy Mommy, I hesitate to find out what it's about. But all of these dolls from Azone are on they're on backlog. Like they've been delayed. So they moved the date for example, for Ram and Rem, they moved the date from May 28th to June 26th, and then for Ram herself, June 26th to July 29th. So everything got like delayed. I don't know how many individuals that watch my channel are big fans or collectors of Azone, but if you did order any of these Pure Nemos, just know that they've been delayed by roughly a month. But other than that, we don't have much to discuss on Azone news either. So let's move on to our next topic, which is Smart Doll. So with Smart Doll stuff, the format for Smart Doll has definitely changed in the past, I want to say, year or so, about how the news is going. He doesn't really do too much anymore about his news posts, you know, other than, you know, announcing a lot of Cortex stuff. So that's pretty much all we're going to talk about for Smart Doll right now. But if we go here, this is an interesting video. I personally think he is showing stress tests. Oh, this is too loud. I'm going to turn it down. But he's basically showing the new Cortex 2, and he's applying pressure with this little handy machine that shows the stress test of the plastic. So you can see the machine is just, it's essentially crunching down on the plastic to see if it would shatter or break, because the previous Cortexes shatter. Like they were very, very breakable. Like if you added any such point of pressure, especially to the smaller parts, like the one that you see here, where it's like a joint, like it's already at 95 kilograms of pressure, 100 kilograms of pressure. You know, and you could see it bent all the way in. Like it bent all the way, but it didn't snap. Like, look at that. Like it didn't snap, and it looks like it could possibly be salvaged if you kind of like bend it the other way, kind of thing. And you know, he did various videos with other parts. Like you could see here, this is like the upper bicep, which was a huge failing point for Cortex 1. And he's putting the pressure right now on this video on the part that broke the most on a lot of people's Cortex. So he's putting pressure on there to see if it would pop, it would break, or whatever. So you could see he's doing a lot of stress testing for the new Cortex 2, especially in the parts that was highly criticized
for breaking and being quote unquote faulty or whatever you want to call it. Like he's doing his due diligence even more so, you know, and showing these videos to show you the progress of Cortex 2. And you see it applying about 100 pounds, or not 100 pounds, 100 kilograms of pressure right there. So, and the part still comes out, you know, a little squished, but it looks like it's still okay. Like you could still kind of squish it in the other direction and hopefully it'll be fine. So I think it's a good thing that he's been doing. Another thing here is this post that he posts with this doll here of new apparel that he's releasing. So, you know, be on the lookout for new apparel coming out specifically for the Cortex 2. And the whole reason is because Cortex 2 has all these vents and these little like cutouts and cyber lines and all that stuff. When you dress up your dolls in the current lineup of clothing that's out there, most of that stuff is covered. And if you're okay with that, that's fine. You're okay with that. But if you're the type of person that wants them to not be naked and have clothes, but still kind of show off all the really cool like cybernetic stuff or the cyberpunk stuff, he's releasing new halter tops. You could see the low-rise cargo jeans right here to show off the markings there on the lower part of the torso. The back part of the tops are having more exposure by using a razorback to show all the little details in the cyberpunk stuff on the back. It looks like a cape, but it's not. It's a long sweater, and it's one of those like over-the-shoulder sweaters. To kind of like just hanging off of her arms, so to speak, so that it can show off, you know, the upper torso and the elbow, not the elbows, but the bicep, like the upper shoulder part, showing those joints off, showing the forearms off, you know, so it's just clothes that are kind of curated to show a lot of the different aspects of Cortex 2 that maybe you thought were really cool, but you still want it to be shown, you know, even though the dolls are clothed. So a lot of these things, you know, is in development and will be released by Smart Doll at some point in the future. Now moving on, there's some new releases, some new girls. So let's talk about some new girls. This one here, she's called, her name is Meat Not My Problem. Now, I know a lot of people are probably going to change the names of their dolls. It's nothing against Danny or his naming conventions. It's just, it's really hard to like talk about your doll like that. Like when you have a doll and you bring it somewhere, they're like, oh, that's a cool doll or whatever. What kind of doll is that? And you'd be like, well, this is Meat Not My Problem. And then people are going to be like, what? And then you would have to go into explaining why the dolls have very unique names like this, where they're more so phrases than actual names. So I know most of you are probably going to change the name for your dolls, mostly for customization reasons, right? Like, because you just want to make your own character. But the official name released by Smart Doll is Meat Not My Problem. And there's a very, like, I was going to say long, but it's more so very thought out background story for Meat Not My Problem. Like, you know, the different things that inspire Danny Chu to make this character the way it is. And there's like a whole backstory to it. So if you want to read it, there's like a whole backstory to why she's called Meat Not My Problem. But regardless of that fact, she does kind of remind me, like, I don't know about you guys, but she kind of reminds me of Transcendence. You know, obviously a little bit different because it is a different character. There are some minute changes, but she kind of reminds me of Transcendence. Like, I kind of get that vibe from her. But what do you guys think? Yay, nay? You know, is this a good thing? Is she Transcendence? Is she not? Curious what you guys think of her. And then there's another character getting, you know, in the production side for C'est La Vie. Now, C'est La Vie, it looks very cute. I think she's pretty cute. But she does remind me of Ends of the Earth, but with a little bit more open mouth kind of look. So, you know, and again, I'm not good at telling sculpts at all. So if I'm getting any of these descriptions or comparisons wrong, I apologize. Like, I'm doing my best, but I really, honestly, and I've said this on my channel for many, many years. I'm very bad at recognizing sculpts. But that being said, as a layman, which is very weird for me to say because I've been in this hobby for so long, But as a layman, when it comes to sculpts, like, that's my first impression. That's the first thing came to my head. Like, oh, it's Ends of the Earth, just slightly different. Or, oh, it's Transcendence, just slightly different. Again, C'est La Vie, you're probably going to change her name, although this name sounds pretty cool. She does come with a whole backstory of why she's named C'est La Vie and what was going through his mindset when creating this character. But she definitely looks pretty cool. The only question I have, which I don't think Danny Chu's really elaborated about the new dolls coming out, is C'est La Vie and Meet Not My Problem going to be Cortex exclusives, or those are just the characters and they'll be available in either Cortex or vinyl? I'm assuming it's more so the latter than anything, that we're going to get them in both Cortex and vinyl. But I'm just putting it out there that there is no actual, a blurb or post by Danny that whether or not it'll be on both platforms or only one of the platforms. And when I say platform, I mean vinyl doll versus Cortex doll. Now, this is a nice, interesting video that he posted. Essentially, he wants to show off Cortex 2 versatility with the bust part of the doll. Now, historically, for most of us that's in this hobby, we know in order to change the bust, you have to remove the head and both arms. And then you slide the bust piece off and change it. It's the same thing with Volks. Same thing with Volks. You got to remove the head and the arms with Volks. I've never actually changed the bust in Azone, but I assume it's the same way. Remove the head, remove the arms. But with Cortex 2, with the use of this plastic, ABS plastic, the new design of the way the shell is, and magnets, this is pretty much what we got. So it's pretty cool. I like the idea of being able to change the busts, like sizes, depending on how you feel. And it's much easier to change this way. Again, I don't have a Cortex 2 to play with, so I don't know all the ins and outs of Cortex 2. But I'm assuming that the torso or the bust piece will have the magnets already there, so that you could do something like this. I would assume it's there, but if it's not, then you would have to get your own magnets and put them in so you can do this. But it does open up the avenue for a lot of customization for Cortex 2. And Danny Chu has said it before. He's going to release STL files so that you guys can, make your own stuff. There will be parts that are made from Smart Doll and that they will release themselves, but he does, in a way, encourage people that, hey, maybe now's a good time for you to learn how to print your own things. Not necessarily saying that you have to, but he's just saying maybe now's a good time to learn if you want to get a Cortex 2 and go through a lot of customization. Now, another thing he's been doing, now that I'm on the Cortex 2 kick, I'm skipping ahead a little bit because I want to talk about this one, is the use of magnets in the Cortex 2 for accessories. So again, you have the Cortex 2, which I'm assuming in the forearm is a magnet, and then in the cannon is also a magnet where you could just easily take it on and off, which I think is really cool. It is not, I want to say it's not 100% original, because Azone does have magnets in the hands and feet of their dolls, although they're very weak and they don't really work too well when you have clothing in the way. But again, it's not like a far-fetched idea, but it is interesting that you could do it on the Cortexes like this. I'm assuming we could still do the same thing with vinyl. There's a big possibility that if you open up your vinyl doll and take the shell of the forearm, that possibly you can fit a magnet in there. Maybe. Because again, it is hollow inside the shell, but once you put the Evol frame through it, maybe it takes up too much space where you won't be able to fit it. Possible. But with Cortex 2, there's a lot of possibilities with magnets and 3D printing, and this is just one of those examples that are on there that
you could do. And I thought it was very interesting. Now, going back a little bit here, this is basically showing the differences that you could do with Cortex 2. Like, for me, this is a little too over the top for me personally. But that doesn't mean that there's people out there that absolutely love this. I am 100% sure there are people out there that love this style of doll. Having the full see-through and the holes where you could see the lights and the little parts moving in. It's very much so cyberpunk and sci-fi. And don't get me wrong, I love cyberpunk and sci-fi, but for my dolls, I prefer the regular Cortex one. This is a bit much for me, but I do see it having its plus sizes. It's plus sides that if you want to make a cyberpunk kind of character, you don't have to go all out with the whole body looking this way. You could do most of the body just regular Cortex, and maybe just the arm is all silver and all exposed. You know what I mean? Like, there's the possibilities, I want to say, are endless. I'm sure it's not endless, but there's just a lot of possibilities with Cortex 2. And I know that especially that if you got into the doll hobby recently, within, let's say, the past 10 years, right? If you got into the doll hobby within the past 10 years, you know that this hobby is already a niche within a niche within a niche. And having Cortex 2 and this cyberpunk and this building your Cortex and the whole thing of adding things and changing things and customization with 3D printing is another niche within our already small niche. And I can't take full credit for saying this because I had this discussion with my friends, and one of my I want to say my good friends, Lindsay, has brought that up, the whole niche within a niche within a niche within a niche. And I really pray for Cortex 2's success, and I think it can be successful. But it is definitely a hard sell for people that have just got into the hobby within the past decade, because those individuals are they fell in love with the way Smart Doll looks as a vinyl doll. Or Dolphie Dream as a vinyl doll. Moving on to Cortex 2 is great. It opens up a whole new avenue to people that build dolls or that want to build dolls, especially people from Mecha Musume, especially for people that want to make robotic dolls and steampunk dolls that never had the chance. Gunpla builders might be building this. I remember speaking with a lot of people within the Gunpla community where, they're like, oh, Mecha Musume is awesome. And I'm like, you could build a bigger one. It's called the Smart Doll Cortex. And they're like, really? And then I would show them pictures. And I know this is mean because I would show them pictures and they're like, that's cool, I want to build one. I'm like, yeah, they discontinued it, so you can't anymore. But now I get to redeem myself by telling those same people, hey, Cortex 2 is coming out. And a lot of those same people are really excited for Cortex 2. So this Cortex 2, even though it's a niche within a niche within a niche, it does open it up for new people to get into the hobby. And they might like building the Cortex 2 and then migrate to the vinyl dolls, and then migrate to Dolphie Dream, and then migrate to Azone, then migrate to resin. Who knows? Everything kind of feeds into each other. So even though it may not be the go-to thing that you're really looking forward to as a current Smart Doll collector within the past couple of years, and it may not fit your cup of tea, but this does, in general, it's good for the community. It makes the community grow, and it also gives the community options. And I've said this many times on my channel, options are great. I love having the ability to choose what I want. It doesn't mean I have to buy it, but I like the fact that I have choices rather than, you only have 3 dolls and that's all you can pick from, and there's nothing else you can pick from, just the 3. And it's like, okay, well, I bought doll 1, 2, and 3. Now there's nothing else to pick from because I own them all. So having choices is great, and having so many choices also, it opens up the variety to different people that otherwise wouldn't have gotten into the hobby. So I think that for better or worse, whatever the community may think,
I think that Cortex 2 is great overall for the growth of the community, because options are nice, variety is nice, choices are nice, diversity is nice. Okay, that being said, just a quick recap of Cyberpunk. This is his Cyberpunk girl from Cyberpunk 2077 cosplay. I don't want to go too much into this other than the fact that it just looks really cool. I never played Cyberpunk 2077, so I don't know this character at all, but it does look super cool, I have to admit. And then this picture here, Danny and team went over to China. They went to Shanghai. So, you know, they're just kind of hanging out there, enjoying culture, you know, enjoying a vacation, some time off. Oh, it's so cute, the two of them. But I just, you know, I hope that they really enjoyed their vacation, because at the end of the day, they're people just like you and me, and they need time off themselves. And the fact that they can do it as like a quote-unquote class trip or like a company treat just makes it all that much cooler to me. You know, I'm not part of it, I'm not there, but you know, I always think about it, like, what if my company that I work for now, my job, had like a field trip day? You know, that's cool. I would like that. I would like a field trip day. It doesn't matter where, like, it's just somewhere. Maybe it's a field trip day to go, I don't know, as a group, as a company, or, you know, our closest coworkers, let's go see a Broadway show together, or let's do happy hour together or something. I don't know. So it's just nice that, you know, as a company, they can get out and do things together. That doesn't necessarily have to be all about business. It's just nice. I wish every company did that. I wish every company did it. Okay, there's another thing with Cortex 2 about applying decals, which I think is super cool. If you do Gundam model kits, you're very familiar with these decals. Danny Chu literally took, where is it? Where's the picture? Here you go. He literally took these little decals from a Gundam model kit and added them to the doll. Like, these are usually things like these red ones usually are cautionary stickers, like warning exhaust fans, or like warning battery pack, or warning electricity, or, you know, whatever, moving parts. Like they always say like all these different things in these little writings here. And I'm a big advocate for decals on my Gunpla. Like, I put decals all over it. Some people don't like that look, and that's totally fine. I like it. I like the look. I think it's cool. And I have so many leftover decals from Gundam stuff that I did not use, because I don't want to over decal, but I do like decals. So, I mean, I could grab some of those older stuff and just add it to my Cortex 2 and make it look like this. Like, this is cool. But if you've never built a Gunpla kit before, just know that these decals you can buy anywhere. You don't have to buy a whole Gundam kit. You can just buy the decals and then just add them to your doll if you wanted to. I think it looks really cool. I like the idea. This other one, we've seen videos of this one before, of him just opening the head and there having being a driver in there. I don't want to go over that because we've seen that a million times. The next thing is going over the timeline. Again, I don't want to bore you guys by going through every single picture. And I know a lot in the past have been just repeat pictures over and over. So we're just going to keep going until like something really catches my eye. Like for this is just basically the male head, a blank one that they're showing you of the new boys. This I think is cool. This is a 3D rendering printing of a face plate for Cortex with a lot of holes in it. I think it's cool, but it's not my cup of tea, if that makes any sense. Like, I wouldn't put this on my doll because it looks too androidy, too like cyberpunk-ish. I like my cyberpunk, don't get me wrong, but I like it within limits. So I wouldn't personally go this far out for me, but I know there's a lot of people out there that would. So that's why I'm covering it, because I know even though I don't like it, I know there's a lot of people that would like this. But it definitely is a very cool concept of what is possible with Cortex 2. And then the rest of these pictures we've all seen. This one is interesting. I'm wondering what these frills are for. Last episode of Beyond Doll Symposium, we had a dress that was in prototype stage that had the same color theme. So I'm assuming this is part of whatever that is. This is like a new halter top. We just have green doll, green doll. These are like some kind of like breastplate for your Cortex 2, which we saw in the past post that I showed you guys with the decals. Another Smart Doll Boy head. Finished, painted, and completed. I need a drink of water. Hold on one second, guys. Moving on, just some more head sculpt stuff, some more things that they're, you know, flesh cutting. This is cool. So you see the different underwear options. Remember, we talked about this before in prior episodes that, you know, he was asking you guys, like, what kind of colors do you want to see if he were to change the colors of the underwear? And you guys know me. This lavender one has me. Like, this gray with lavender, I'm all for that. But also this gray up here with the pink. I like that too. I'm not a fan of these lavender ones, only because I don't like them because they look like they were this lavender but faded. Like they were in the sun for too long. So I'm not a fan of these on the right, but these darker ones, I do like this. Like this side is cool. Right side, not so cool. This side, I like a lot. Marie Velez, hello. Welcome to the stream. I've usually quietly watching today, so hopefully everyone's doing well. Well, I'm doing well. I hope everyone else that's watching is doing well as well. Thank you very much for Marie Velez for putting that out there. And welcome to the stream. So we have more pictures here of different products coming out. This is interesting because we've seen this before. This is the one where it's like a hidden marker. So if you don't know, if you're new to the hobby, this blue infinity sign, you won't see it on your doll at all. But it is there if you purchase this head, if you use a special light, like one of those like black lights or purple lights, and you shine it on the doll, then it will show up. But if you don't do that, you'll never see this. And I just think it's interesting to show this picture because this was a thing maybe a year and a half ago to 2 years ago, and then it went radio silent. We never heard anything about this ever again. And then to see this in recent studio pictures, I'm wondering if he's trying to show us that he's going to start selling these to get rid of extra stock. Like maybe they've been around since that 2 years ago and just never moved because he never officially sold it, or he's bringing it back. So I think it's just interesting to see that's there. Some more things here. What is this? Oh, so this is just one of those attendance clickers. I don't know why he's showing that exactly. There's no context behind it. More patterny stuff. I'm not really sure what this is, but it looks like for an upper torso or bust piece. I don't know. You have the nice t-shirt that's here. Some more patterns here. I don't know what this is. This looks like maybe jeans or cargo pants. Okay, moving on. We've seen a lot of this stuff here. You know, my favorite color of a wig. Just more colors, the nice new platinum wigs that are going to be coming out. Here's a new back plate for Cortex 2. This has way more air ventilation than the previous iteration. And again, you know, less is more in my opinion. I think this is too over the top, but again, there is a market for this. So, you know, I want to show it because there are people that are highly interested in this. I personally will pass because it's too many vents for me, but I know there's people that are excited for this kind of stuff. And same thing with the upper back plate for the bust. There's a lot of vents in this one. Looks cool. It looks cool like this, but like on my dolls, like most of that will be covered up, to be honest. On my dolls. I don't know about yours, but yeah. I think it's a bit too many vents. Okay. Moving up some more. Here's that outfit I was talking about. I don't know what this outfit is or what it is for. I don't know if it's a cosplay of anything or whatnot, but it is definitely something, and it's stumping me because I have no idea where this is from. And it could be from something I know nothing about, like Cyberpunk 2077. Never played it, so it might be a character from there. Who knows? Let's see, moving on. Okay, so here's Cortex 2. This is the bust piece that you can change. And the only reason why I kind of highlight this in today's episode is you could see here, these are where the magnets would go. In these hollowed out areas here, that's where you would fit the magnets. So if he does not include magnets on Cortex 2 and you have to do it yourself, I'm pretty sure, I don't know this 100% for sure, but I'm pretty sure he would share the information on what size magnets you need to fit in there. So for the uninitiated, like myself, that knows nothing about magnets, I would need that information. So I can do the whole magnet thing myself. But I'm assuming he would let us know. More stuff here with like, you know, Cortex 2 pieces that they just recently painted. That is a back plate and looks like leg pieces and torso and a whole bunch of stuff. Then there's this. Excuse me, I'm a little tired. Then there's this, which is, I can only assume is a shin piece. It looks like the shin for a Cortex 2 doll, which I think this looks pretty cool. There's not too many air vents, you know, or cutouts. You know, this is something I could get on board with. It's minimal vents, but it's still venty enough to look cyberpunkish and cool. Oh, Heartshoal says it's from the movie Megan 2. Okay, so then, yeah, I've never watched it. It's on my queue. I know, you guys are probably making fun of me right now, but I've never actually watched it. I didn't see Megan 1. I didn't see Megan 2. It is on my queue to watch. I just haven't watched it yet. But if that's where it's from, thank you very much, Hearts, for pointing that out, because I had zero idea. Okay, so then here's just pictures of the new bikini. I keep saying new. It's not new. But the bikinis, I don't know. I can't tell if this is plus size or for the regular classic girls or not, but, you know, it's just more of the same. And here's more of that Megan thing outfit. Just making my way up. Here's like more Cortex pieces, very ventilated. This is a very ventilated doll. And even in the next picture for the head, heavily ventilated. Like this is like really knee-deep sci-fi kind of stuff. Like in my opinion, I could be wrong. I feel like it's very, very sci-fi. Like if you're into that kind of thing, which again, I think a lot of people that have gotten into the doll hobby within the past couple years are not, they're not used to seeing this kind of stuff. So Danny's essentially really creating another niche within an already very small niche of collectors. But options are great. Options are great, and I am on board with Cortex 2. I've said it many times. I'm on board with it, but I do realize and I do understand that Cortex 2 is not for everybody, and I just want to make it clear that I don't have solid proof of it because I can't think of it right now, but I'm pretty sure that Danny said something along the lines that just because Cortex 2 is coming out, it doesn't mean the vinyl girls are going away. So please don't overreact and think, oh, Smart Doll is not the same, it's a different company, blah, 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 because they're only making Cortex 2. No, that he does this all the time. He focuses on this project, and when he finds something he loves, he just deep dives into it until it's completed, essentially. So, you know, you're seeing a lot of Cortex stuff now, but it doesn't mean that the vinyl girls are going away. They're not gone. So don't worry. Don't worry. Moving up for more stuff, we're seeing just more Cortex stuff. Like this is just interesting. Like that looks really cool. Again, I wouldn't put it on my dolls, but it looks really cool. And another thing that's very interesting about this picture is that I don't know if you guys can see it on your end, but if you look at the edges here, this is the outside of the torso shell. So what that means is that what we're looking at is actually the inner part of Cortex. So theoretically, right, you would have the doll with a normal torso piece, and I would assume you put magnets. You take the torso piece off, and this would be underneath, almost like an inner cage or an inner rib cage for the doll. So that this way, it doesn't have to look overexposed like this all the time. You would just put this on the inside of the torso, and then you could put the actual torso piece over it. And I only realize this because you can see the outer edges of the torso shell So this is actually made to be on the inner side of the doll, which is really cool. And I'm pretty sure he got this idea from Gundam, because the newest versions of the Perfect Grade Gundam, which is the most expensive Gundams that you can buy, the Perfect Grade system has an inner frame that is very similar to this, where the inner side of the frame would have this cool cyberpunky, like, you know, skeletal mesh, and then you would put the armor plating over it so you wouldn't see it. But theoretically, in maintenance mode, when the robots would come back and they would have to be maintained, you would remove the armor and you would see this underneath so they can effectuate repairs and all this other kind of stuff. So I think he got that idea from Perfect Grade Gundam, or someone in his office gave him that idea, and now he's showing a prototype of it, which I think looks really, really cool. And I'm down for that, 100% down for that. Now moving on. Just some more stuff we've seen. It's nothing out of the ordinary other than purple wigs. I cannot wait for Chaos to release purple wigs. Again, it's not guaranteed you're going to get it, but I am very excited for purple wigs. These look so cool. Like, I might have to change Chitose's wig if I can get my hands on one of these. Moving on. Some more pictures, a lot of things that we've seen already. A lot of this is just repetitive. Eyes and inner pieces. I don't know what this is. Oh, okay. So, like the, I'm blanking. The dreadlock hairstyle kind of thing. That is like that's probably going to be in Chaos wigs as well. It might be for a new character that releases in the future as well, but they look really cool. I really think it looks awesome. Oh, here's a close-up picture. This is a short-haired version, rather than the last picture was long hair, but you could see like the way it's braided for the braided hair. More guys, pictures of guys, and fabric for something that looks really cool. I like this. I don't know where it's going yet, but I like this picture over here of what the final product looks like, and I like this skirt. This long skirt, that's right up my alley. That's right up Shizusan's alley. I like these long pencil skirt kind of things. I would definitely like a part of this. I don't know what it is, but it looks amazing. And then we have this here, which is some new prototype of an outfit that they're doing, which is probably going to be another cosplay outfit. Moving on. We've seen all this already, just busts and feet and stuff. Oh, this looks interesting. So this is them prototyping another cosplay, which you can see in the background. Here's the original source material, but it looks like they're just kind of outlining with like a thin like sock kind of layer over the doll to kind of draw on it on how they want to make it look like cyberpunky or like boots or whatever wise. I think that's really cool. Just kind of getting into the mindset of like how they come up and theorize like these things that they do. And I just think it's really interesting seeing how they just put a fabric over the leg and then just draw over it to kind of have like an idea of what it would look like if they created XYZ item. Okay, moving on. This, I have no idea what this is. I really don't. If I am to assume anything, I would assume it has something to do with Cortex 2, but I really don't know what this is. I wish I knew what it is. Moving on, some more pieces, evolve frame, bust sizes, this new outfit, which I still have no idea. Moving on. This kind of reminds me of Iron Man, whatever this is. Oh, this is the seat in the head. So when he has that whole thing where you have Cortex 2 and there's a pilot in the head, this is the seat where the pilot would sit. That's probably what that picture was before. Moving on. This is like, I guess this is the armor pieces over the bust that we saw before. Like, it looks like he's making prototype molds of it. But, okay. I mean, I really don't have anything to say about that. Like, it's interesting. But until we get more information, I don't really know what it is. Here's a prototype drawing of the arm cannon. I guess they're trying to see from these designs, but I think that would be very interesting. It would have to be a whole new separate piece. I don't think you could take the existing evolve frame and add to it to make it do this. I think there would have to be a separate piece you would replace on your evolve frame, if it even gets to that point. And these red things, I have no idea. They look like dresses, like long dresses, but I really don't know. Moving on, more boxes, more Cortex shells, more bust pieces, more bikinis, some face-up material, which, by the way, looking at this, old school Mirai head. Moving on to some, let's look at this pattern. I feel like this is wide-legged jeans, or wide-legged pants, or straight-leg pants. That's kind of what this looks like. It reminds me of, at least. Marie Velez says, oh, I haven't seen Megan movie either. I don't think I'll ever watch it. Hart says, no problem. But just this week, I was at a local Toys Collectibles, and they had a life-size Megan doll. I've seen those on the internet. I've seen those life-size ones. They look cool, but then kind of creepy at the same time. I don't know how I feel about that. Moving on. We're moving on. More photos. She looks very cute, whoever she is. She looks very cute. More color swatches. What they are for, we don't know, but it's very interesting. They look like the elastic bands, but again, no context, just color swatches. More of this clicker thing. I don't know why they keep showing this clicker thingy. All right, moving on. Styling of hair. Some joints, some clickety-click stands. This looks interesting. Okay, so a new jacket, camo jacket. I like it. It looks cool. And then there's the plus size version for the plus dolls. Moving on some more. That's that jacket again. Just with, I guess, the pattern there right next to it. All right, and that's it for May. So moving on to June. Because again, there's a lot. We only have one episode a month. But again, I'm trying to go through this as quickly as possible. Here's the seat again for Cortex 2. We got the seat. More of this prototype outfit, whatever it ends up being. But the more I see it, Tempest Strife has told me her take on this. And she thinks it's possible it could be the Major from Ghost in the Shell kind of an outfit. Which I can kind of see the resemblance. But until I see the final version, I will try not to get too excited. Because the Major is one of my favorite characters of all time. Well, one of. I have so many favorite characters. But it's one of. And if he's going to make a cosplay of it, oh, I'd be super psyched. But again, we don't know. I don't know what it is. Moving on to more stuff. Just got like head sculpts. Cortex 2 head sculpts. Different colors for the seating inside the head for the cockpit for Cortex 2. More elf ears. And then there's this, which is, I guess, new stain prevention underwear that would show under shorts, maybe. I think that's, for some reason, that looks like an odd shape to me. I feel like this is something that he's making to show off. Again, it's underwear that your dolls would wear, but minimized enough where it would still show all the cyberpunk markings. Moving on to here, and then you can kind of see this white face down here. This like non-pigmented face is very interesting. I'm assuming this is for Cortex. Moving on. Okay, here we go. Here's the plus size doll with the jacket that we saw in previous pictures. These are those pieces, those part separation pieces I told you that could cover up those vents. Very cool. This here, so for those of you that don't know what these are the ball joints for Smart Doll Plus, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But I believe these are the ball joints inside for the Evolve frame of Smart Doll Plus. Moving on some more. These are the forearms with the little extensions that come out of it for the gun pieces or whatever else that you want to mount on those arm extensions. This face-up looks really cool. Don't know which character it is, but I do love that eye makeup right there. That little line that comes across the bottom. Ah, so cool. Looks very cool. And then that's it. That's all the pictures for June so far, which we've only had 6 days in June, so there really isn't as much. But that's all the studio pictures from Smart Doll Land from at least all of May into the very beginning of June. So hopefully you guys have seen some items in there that are pretty cool that you find really interesting. But that's the end of today's episode. So not too much of a long episode, and really, to be honest, there wasn't really much news this time around. You know, again, if I were doing this at least twice a month, it would be a little bit shorter, maybe cover more information, you know, as it's released, so it's not a whole month behind. But hopefully you guys are still okay with this format. I'm really enjoying the fact that I only stream twice a month now. I've been very much so utilizing that extra day that I do not stream to, you know, either spend time with family, meet with friends that I haven't seen in a very long time. So I've been really utilizing my time off a lot more to spend with friends and family, and I really do appreciate having that time. So I hope it doesn't impact you guys as viewers too much to have the news only once a month at the very beginning of the month. You know, but I hope you guys are still at least enjoying the format and finding the information useful. And I know that in today's stream, it was much more speculation stream than anything. But again, it's because we just don't have a lot of news this time around for like a whole month. An entire month of May. We just didn't really have a lot of news. So, you know, you take it for what it is. Take it for what it is. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. And we will be doing, we will be doing an episode of Beyond the Doll in 2 weeks. So that would be, today's the 6th. So that would be June 20th. So June 20th, we'll be doing an episode of Beyond the Doll. I have 2 separate episodes that I kind of want to do for Beyond the Doll. I just don't know which one I'm going to do first on the 20th. One of them is a topic that I've had on hold for quite some time, just because, you know, I was supposed to happen last month, but I got sick and I wasn't able to talk about it. So I could push that to this 20th and just go over it then. The other thing I have that I want to talk about on the Beyond Doll is I recently came into possession of a brand new doll. Brand new to me, but I have a new doll, and it is not a doll that my regular viewers would think I would purchase, so to speak. So I have a new doll, and I don't know if I want to make the next episode Beyond Doll all about that doll, like a live unboxing and review, or if I'm just going to talk about my regular topics that I had on hand that I was supposed to talk about, you know, last May, but didn't. So just look forward to, you know, a good episode in 2 weeks from now. But I think that's everything from me today. I think that's just everything from me today. And I'm sorry, Hearts, I didn't mean to ignore your post in chat. It's just I got on a tangent. I just kept talking, and then I totally forgot it was there. And I was like, oh, don't forget to bring it up. But I forgot. But anyways, you said something about for the Azone dolls that the waist is thin, but the hips and thighs are thick. I think the sizes differ according to the character. That's a fair statement. I agree with that. It definitely does depend on the character themselves. But they are definitely thin in some areas and thick on other areas. Hart says, I hope it's a Tiny Fox doll. Well, you'll just have to wait and see, won't you? I will, you know, eventually get around to announcing it, whether it be at the next episode of Beyond the Doll or the one afterwards. But I definitely have a doll that, for longtime viewers of my channel, would not expect me to have, so to speak, if that piques your intrigue. But yeah, it'll come. Don't worry about it. It's coming in the future. It's just I just need to really prep for its announcement and viewing pleasure, so to speak. So that might happen in 2 weeks from now, maybe.
But either way, that's the end of today's episode. I thank everybody for coming out, and I say this every episode. This channel is nothing without you guys. You know, you're always lending your support by watching and, you know, clicking the like buttons and sharing these episodes, and you know, I really appreciate it. And for those of you that are here pretty much every single live stream, I really appreciate you guys too for participating in every episode and really just writing in the chat and having a conversation with me. You know, I got into this whole YouTube thing because I wanted to make friends. I wanted to meet more people that love this doll stuff, and there's just nobody really around me. Well, I mean, there is now that I've reached out and found people, but I mean, in the beginning, there was nobody around me that I knew that was interested in these dolls. So, you know, being able to talk with you guys on every episode about whatever topics we're talking about is just it's just amazing, and it really makes my day to be able to converse with you guys on a every other week basis, so to speak. So thanks everybody for participating every day on the live streams. And even if you're not, you know, and you're just watching it on the VODs later and, you know, liking and commenting in the comment section or sharing these videos, I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for supporting my channel. But yeah, that's the end of today's episode. As always, I am your host, Shizusan, and I didn't introduce her before, but Makoto, Sailor Jupiter, my Dolphie Dream, is my assistant today. I should have introduced her like I always do, but I totally spaced out because I really wanted to get into the news because we haven't talked about the news in so long. But yeah, this is Makoto. This is Sailor Jupiter. She's here helping me out for today's stream. So from both me and her, thanks guys for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
All the endings inside my head, and I rise out of lies. Tonight we'll get there, back to heaven. Living with passion, I live with stars. I keep my head steady, but feet are off the ground. I like your luscious, my lips so smooth. Baby boy, join me if you want to. We got jumpsuits in glitter and red, fabric breakers and puppies in bed. We got it all. Tonight we party. We got it all. If you ask, will I trust? I said maybe it's your call. Take a chance with this romance. I don't unless it's too